All right, everybody. I see you're coming in. Laura, nice to see you're here. Rosine's miss seeing you. Jordan, nice to know you're here from the other room. Um, Ms. Beck, nice to have the Vale School District. Oh, yeah. So, Vale School District is meeting super soon to talk about their reopening and whether or not they can actually open on their scheduled date, which would be July 20. Hi, how are you? So it's Pastor Steve Meldy. Welcome to a faith-filled Friday. I'm looking in all sorts of directions. I've got my cell phone over here on my right, and I've got my iPad over here. Hello, daughter-in-law. Hello, Kate. Nice to see that you're with us. Happy faith-filled Friday, everybody. I'm going to give just a moment for folks to get connected. I got us started a little bit later than I had hoped, and sometimes it takes a couple of minutes for things to connect. It is Friday, June 26th in the year of our Lord 2020. How y'all doing out there? Not an easy time, is it, if you're in Arizona, particularly in southern Arizona where we are, as things change daily with the news on how we're doing with the pandemic and what we need to do about our living in the midst of the pandemic. So welcome to the roller coaster ride, right? But we're here and we're welcome, and we're glad that you're here with us. Give me a shout out on the thing. Hello, Debbie. Nice to see you. Nice to see Dot with us. Hello, Dot. Hope you can see us. Hope you can hear us. Tammy. I miss seeing all of you folks. This is, I think the longer it goes, the harder it gets, right? It's been over 3 months since we've been able to worship together. And you know that we have that goal of July 12th, but I'll talk about that a little bit more in a few moments. Today, on Faith-Filled Friday, I just have a little video to show you. It's a little video from a group called Motion Worship. We use their website, motionworship.com. Most every Sunday, they make some incredible video loops for us for backgrounds on our worship, and they've also made some incredible little mini video movies that we have enjoyed. And I found one called Hold On. And I thought today, in the midst of the pandemic, and things spiking and feeling like they're out of control, that we're needing an extra moment to just kind of figure out how to hold on. Bear with me. Hello, neighbor Cheryl. I miss you. Bear with me for a moment while I transfer the phone over to where I want you to see the video. And let me know. Welcome to the world of technology. Let me know on sound and volume. I'm just going to simply show you this off of my computer. So here we go, folks. It's a video called Hold On. Welcome back. I think it's a pretty cool little video. Pat, hold on. I'm sorry about the shakiness. Pat Levincius, thank you, Pat Schneider, thank you for noticing my shirt. I'll tell you more about that later. Hold on. Know that if you missed the video, I'm going to show it again when I'm complete with our talk. But I just think we need that lesson today, to hold on. I think a lot of us are feeling lost in the midst of the pandemic. I know that for some of us, our lives haven't been interrupted all that much, that many of us have stayed home anyway, but for a lot of the world, life is interrupted. And as we began to open up, it looks like we're closing up again, and then we'll open up again, and that'll probably happen several times, and that gets really frustrating, and it gets really discouraging, and it feels like in some ways the world becomes a mess, and where is God in all of this? And I just know through my faith that God is close, that God is near, and that God is inviting us to hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I often turn to the scriptures. I often turn to the Psalms when things get really challenging. And one of my favorite Psalms to turn to is Psalm 27. So let me share some of the words of Psalm 27 with you. The Lord is my light and salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers assail me to devour my flesh, my adversaries and foes, they shall stumble and fall. Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. I think of that psalm, and it reminds me of moments when I have felt that God is actually close at hand, taking my hand and joining with me in my life. So that in the other moments of life, when all I can feel is God's absence, I have something to hold on to, a memory to hold on to keep myself going in the midst of a world that seems like it's out of control. I invite you to hear those words again. The Lord is my light and salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. For a lot of us in our lives, there are armies encamped around us. It could be simply the army of fear. It could be the army of abuse. It could be the army of addiction. It could be the army of loneliness, of confusion, of lostness, of, I don't know what we're all facing. But sometimes whatever we're facing feels like an army against us. And sometimes it feels like we have to face that alone. But I know that God is near. God always has been. And invites us somehow to be patient and wait and feel the different ways that God is actually coming into our lives and staying with us. The psalmist goes on and talks about some of the different struggles in life. And as the psalmist concludes this section, this writing, this poem, the psalmist says, I believe that I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. So wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. And folks, that's what we need to do. We need to wait for the Lord to reveal the Lord's self to us, to trust that somehow in the midst of this, God is with us. That has never changed. God has always made that promise, and God will always keep that promise. And just as God has been with us in the past and promises to be with us somewhere in the future, I know that God is with us here and now in the present. And I invite you to remember that. And when you know that God is with you, somehow the level of fear diminishes. And it doesn't mean that the situation goes away completely, but it means how we face the situation is very different. I believe that I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And indeed, we are seeing that. We're seeing an outpouring of care in our world. Are you a part of that? Are you a part of showing that to the world? Because then I can almost guarantee you that once you start showing that to the world, you're going to start really noticing it in your life. Those of you who are educators, you know that the best way to learn a subject is to have to teach it. And so you study it and you try to figure it all out, but then when you have to share that knowledge with somebody else, that's when the knowledge becomes your own. When faith becomes a struggle for you, one of the things you need to do is to share it with others, to trust that it's there, to help others find it in their own lives. And then you will begin to find it more deeply in your own. So whatever it is, whatever army has encamped itself around you, I invite you to know what the psalmist said. My heart shall not fear. Why? Because I believe that I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. So wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. Pray with me. Precious God, from wherever we are, connected on the internet for a few moments together on a faith-filled Friday, we ask for your help. In many ways, Lord, it feels like the world has become totally out of control, out of your control. But we know that's not true. We know you're still in charge. So help us to notice the ways that you're still coming close to us, so that we can hold on, so that we can keep going, keep believing, and seeing your goodness even now. Help us to cause others to see it. Help us to show your goodness in Jesus to the world, so that maybe perhaps through doing that, even our own faith will grow deeper. So Lord, help us to hold on. Amen. Folks, whatever you're facing, hey, Marilyn, Stacy, nice to see you. Tracy, nice to see you on with us. Wherever you are, whatever army has encamped around you, fear, disease, challenges, I don't know what it is. I invite you to know what you've always known, that God is here, God is with you. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to show you that video again. Get ready. So hold on, folks. Wait for the Lord. The Lord is with us. The Lord will reveal God's self to you. And in the midst of this pandemic, I know it's frustrating and we want to get on with it, but here we are. Hold on and know that the Lord is with you. and you will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. So I want to show you my really cool shirt. Awesome, huh? So we're nearing the end of June. This is Pride Month in our country. And so I wore my rainbow-colored shirt in honor of Pride Month. And I think of all of those who worked for inclusion, not only legally in our country, but worked for inclusion in our church. And how amazing it is that we finally have that and we get to celebrate that. It took a lot of holding on. It took a lot of waiting. It took a lot of work and a lot of convincing and showing. And I'm so grateful for the LGBTQ plus community who showed us their faithfulness and taught us something that we didn't know and that we do now. God works in all our lives. Folks, I invite you this month on this anniversary of the legalization of same-gendered marriages in our country and that movement within our church to continue to celebrate the diversity of God's human beings. It is truly incredible, and it is a joy to learn from other people's faith, and let it be a joy for people to learn from your faith. If you want to learn the faith, teach it and share it. Lots of you continue to ask in these final moments today about opening the church for worship. For those of you who've been with us, you know that we've had a goal of Sunday, July 12. We put out a quick little survey this week to see how many would come. We're still working through all of that. Your safety team is meeting again next Wednesday. They met this last Wednesday. They're going to meet next Wednesday to yet make a final decision about that Sunday, the 12th. If you're in Southern Arizona, if you're in Arizona at all, you know that the governor has just yesterday come out to let us know that the hospital bed capacity has risen dramatically in our state and in our county, and we have to be careful about that. The governor has encouraged us to stay home. If we're out and about, we need to wear masks, but otherwise we should be staying home. So it puts our whole July 12th opening in question again. I'm not going to jump and make that change today. I'm going to give it a few days, see how the numbers do. We are watching carefully statistics and numbers and where we're being encouraged to make a faithful decision. We will make a faithful decision about worshiping together, folks, because that's what we are as people of faith. And we're here not just for ourselves to worship God, but we're here for the safety and the welfare of the community. And we will do what is best and right based on what we can figure out. And that feels like it changes every day. And I can't tell you how frustrating that is and how much I miss hearing people in the worship space speak out loud the Lord's Prayer. But we're going to figure this out. Whether we're able to just only continue online or be in person, we'll figure that out. We'll make a decision next Wednesday evening, and then we'll put that word out to you. Be in prayer for your safety team as they lead us and guide us in the midst of that. God bless you all. Have a wonderful faith-filled Friday. Hold on, and you will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Grace and peace to you all. See you on